Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 9th edition of the Michigan Mortgage Cast. In today's show, we are going to talk about creative ways to grow your results for home buyers and sellers in this market. And with me today, we have Suzanne O'Brien, our manager at the Johnstone & Johnstone office, Nancy Bowerbank, our manager in our Reinhardt North office in Ann Arbor, and Camille Elsey, our assistant manager in Maxbrook, Birmingham. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks guys for taking the time. I think everybody by now has heard what kind of market this is from a competitive standpoint, and we're going to definitely get into that. But first, I want to talk about each of your individual markets in the surrounding area. And Camille, let's start with you with the Woodward Corridor. And the Woodward Corridor is so unique because it covers so many different areas, price ranges, types of buyers, from first-time buyers to investment properties to jumbo buyers. So can you touch on the Woodward Corridor and what exactly that means, Camille?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like what you said, Larry. It's interesting because the Woodward Corridor spans, pretty much Ferndale straight up into Bloomfield. So you hit a lot of different cities within that Woodward Corridor. And in a different market, each of those cities and areas sort of used to have their own pocket that we could identify, whether you're looking into Royal Oak or you're looking in Bloomfield or Ferndale, what it may be. With the way that the market is now, it's all sort of come together. We're experiencing the same thing in every city up and down the Woodward Corridor in regards to the price increase, the multiple offers with the buyers, the competition. It's not so much piecemeal as it used to be. So it's pretty busy up and down the Woodward Corridor. That's a good way to put it. There's a lot of activity, everything from, first-time home buyer homes up into the $400,000, $500,000 plus $1,000 range. It's just the inventory is low, like we know. So there's a lot of buyers out there and there's just not a lot of supply for them. So we're kind of working through the conversations with our buyers. We're in the Birmingham office. So we have a lot of especially kind of millennial first-time buyers that our agents work with that want to be in the Royal Oak or Berkeley or Ferndale areas for their first house. And we're coaching them with the way that the market is to kind of take a step back. And, the first house is probably not going to be the house you get, but that's okay. They're going to find something great. So we're working through just the busyness of the market up and down.
And it's mentioned here that inventory is loosening a little bit in Royal Oak, Berkeley, Bloomfield, but not enough to alleviate. So seasonality wise, it's still low for this time of year. Is that correct? The inventory?
Definitely. Yeah. It's in spring and summer. Things loosen up naturally, like you said, seasonality wise. And we've been seeing more opportunity up and down, especially the corridor, but it's just not, it's good, but it's not great. It's still not alleviating the amount of buyers that are out there, but it is good that we're starting to see a little bit of movement and some more listings coming in. So it's giving the buyers a little bit more opportunity.
Great. Thank you, Camille.
Yeah.
So Suzanne, you're in our Grosse Pointe office, which covers Grosse Pointe, Detroit, St. Clair Shores, Harper Woods, just a lot of different areas. So let's start with Detroit. What's going on in that market? Pre and post COVID?
It's a very diverse area, as you know. The single family home statistics are very different than what you would find in the loft and condo business in downtown. But both are very strong because there's a lot of new development downtown, and I think Camille can probably speak to this as well. The average sale price per square foot is remaining pretty consistent because they are seeing new inventory coming to market as developers finish projects. So there's a little bit different vibe going on down there, though prices remain very strong. Properties see lots of competition still. On the single family home front, we're seeing that properties have really started to recover from the recession more than a decade ago. I mean, the average price on a single family home in Detroit went all the way down to about $16,000. And now that's at above 60. So it's a much better situation for homeowners in Detroit and still very affordable for first-time home buyers. So I think with all of the pressure on pricing in the suburbs that we're seeing, Detroit's a great option for folks to buy a first-time home.
Yeah, even areas, Boston Edison, Indian Village, Palmer Park,
Yep.
very nice
Jefferson
area.
Chalmers.
Yeah, Palmer. Yeah, you're. It's great for potential renovation type loans as well, and some fixer uppers. So, a great opportunity in Detroit for sure.
And the city's doing a lot to bring about those areas, create bike trails, parks, specifically dog parks, some really cool things that are appealing to people so that they can live the way they want to live with what's important to them.
Yeah, and what's going on in Grosse Pointe and in St. Clair Shores?
In the Grosse Pointe area, our listing inventory is down by 34% over last year. And it doesn't appear that the spring market is really helping that anyway. So it's difficult. Grosse Pointe is not a large area. In fact, we've probably got about 12,000 homes in total in the entire collection of the Grosse Pointes. And so for our inventory to be that low, it just really doesn't provide agents with enough inventory to make a living on at the end of the day. And you're certainly seeing prices increase as they are other places. What's interesting about the Grosse Pointes is many of the folks who live here have lived here for decades. And so we may not have the same quality of updated inventory than, say, a Birmingham or Royal Oak would have. And that's influencing prices a little bit. Beyond that, St. Clair Shores is booming, absolutely booming. It's one of the areas where you can still get what would be traditionally considered a single family starter home. And just under 200,000, though I think that's going to change very quickly. That average sale price is nearly at 200,000 now. And the inventory is down there as well, but by and large, not as much as the Grosse Pointe inventory, only by about 10%, 11%.
Okay. Yeah, that's high in comparison to what I've heard other areas for sure. St. Clair Shores is a great spot for FHA type loans or MISTA, our state bond program. So it's a wonderful area. All right, so we're going to go from the east side to the west side in Ann Arbor. Nancy, what is happening in Ann Arbor and in the surrounding areas? You have some pretty amazing statistics here.
Well, as you know, just like the rest of the group talked about, inventory is extremely tight, probably more so in Ann Arbor than a lot of other places. And it's a very tough market for first-time buyers. One of our challenges is to, help those first-time buyers find a suitable place that's close to Ann Arbor. Many of them work or go to school in Ann Arbor. Many of them were raised in Ann Arbor. And we don't have enough new construction in Ann Arbor proper to assist us with that plethora of buyers out there. So Ypsilanti, Pinckney, Dexter, Saline, all of the suburbs of Ann Arbor have seen very, very heavy activity, and Ypsilanti maybe more than most, just because from an affordability standpoint, there's a lot of good housing stock in the Ypsilanti area. We used to have quite a bit that you could get for, under 200 or under 250, and those prices have just gone bananas. There's the Ann Arbor market is not for the faint of heart. Never been a better time to have a good buyer's agent. Never been a better time to have great financing options lined up because we're seeing 40 offers on a ranch, let's say in College Heights, that's priced in the twos, go for over $3. And these are places that traditionally would have gone, in the low to mid twos that just, they're solid, they're brick, but they're small, 1,100 square feet, may or may not have a garage, probably have a basement. So we're just seeing a real lot of pressure on our buyers, and on there's getting sellers to sell in this market is challenging as well, just because they don't know what they're going to buy. And we've seen the $1 million plus market really come into its own in the last 12 months with multiple offers and historically high price per square foot. So it's not just the first time buyer market that is feeling the pressure. It's that luxury market and that upper market that also has become very competitive.